Hey guys, Paloma here, and welcome to the Bates House. Today we are going to be working in the second half of our junk journal that we put together in video 1. We have gone through in detail and pieced this cool journal together, and I wanted to do half of the months in one book and then half of the months in another book. So we have already done January through March, and now we're going to begin April through June in this book, and then there's going to be one signature left at the end of the book for whatever else you'd want to put in here. So starting with April, of course, we have Easter. And Easter and holidays, we always take pictures. So of course, I'm associating Easter pictures with this pocket that we are going to be putting together, because if you missed it, when we were piecing this book together, I kind of felt like it was creating its own characters. So the history of the book in a nutshell is it is a journal that belongs to a newlywed young lady who is married to a military fighter pilot. And I figured for the month of April, they would be celebrating Easter with their family. So I took the picture of the young girl because for me, I felt like the dress was kind of hollering purple to me, like there were some shades of purple, so perfect for Easter. And then I paired it with this little floral piece that my hubby actually got for me and I let dry. And then I paired that with another picture of some people sitting out in a field because, you know, there's all the things that we do for Easter. Now I took my Sears Roebuck catalog that was a 1970s reprint of a 1909, 1902 catalog. And I was looking for some Easter themed dressing. Like I figured there would be a nice section of nice dresses for Easter, but apparently like marketing holidays wasn't a thing then. So there wasn't anything like that, but I thought you would enjoy seeing the flip through of that. And we have a lot of background noise because it is spring break and the kids are home and they're doing laundry, some are playing. So yeah, there's going to be some kind of feedback in the background. Now moving on, I took the adhesive pocket, which I will make some of these pockets available in my Etsy shop eventually. I do have plenty that I'm going to be posting in there, and I am just going to kind of coordinate it to match what I feel like her dress looks like in this picture. So we're going to say that this is her niece in the top picture with the little purple dress that I was talking about. And we're going to take some of a green shade, some tea stain, some vintage photo, ground espresso, and we're going to throw all of those pieces together. One of my favorite things to do when distressing or kind of adding color to a card is just go with it. I never really do anything too specific. I don't care about clean blending. I'm heavy-handed. I like uneven shades. In the previous video, I kind of told you guys a little bit about these punches. These punches are awesome. And you can punch around the edge and it leaves a really pretty design, but I'm just taking the little alpha tags and punching along the top, kind of no rhyme or reason. I don't want them to be totally symmetrical and even, so I just popped them in there and punched. Now, we actually got a lot of those punches some time ago, a few years ago at Tuesday Morning for like $4. It was awesome. I picked up so many and I'm having a lot of fun using them. And now we're going to go ahead and begin piecing all of the pieces together. Now, just a heads up, I do love the Fabric Tech adhesive, and I actually got this huge bottle on clearance for about $3.25 on a previous Hobby Lobby extreme clearance, but I would not suggest buying them online from Amazon at all. They're super pricey for the small bottles, and I would not suggest doing that unless you're trying not to come out of pocket for something and maybe you have an Amazon gift card. Aside from that, don't do it. Definitely use your 40%, go to Hobby Lobby and get you a big bottle for less than what you'd pay online. Okay, so moving on, we are going into the May month now, which of course has Mother's Day. So I'm taking this Graphic 45 Children's Hour image from our full sheet that we used in the beginning of the junk journal process for this journal, and she's holding the baby and whatnot, so I felt like it was totally appropriate to have that nurturing motherly picture on the front. And then we are just going to say that one of the images is her mother, and then another one of the images will be the in-law. I really like creating these storylines. It just finds a way to guide the direction that you want to take the journal into. And I love how this one's just kind of creating its own character along the way. Okay, so one of my favorite things about a lot of people's junk journals is the stitching of the papers. Unfortunately, I am not a stitching kind of person. I don't really have, I guess, the patience for it, or I don't have the patience to learn it. Anything technical kind of drives me nuts whenever it has a hiccup. It's very frustrating. So I have told the hubby that I will commit to learning how to sew. So eventually you might see some stitching in my paperwork, but right now what we are going to do is take a lot of vintage fabric or a vintage lace and use that throughout this project. I'm just telling you that I am not going to be one of those that stitches into the pages yet, because I'm just not about that life. I'm not patient with anything techie. So for us, it's going to be glue. So basically, all I'm doing at this point is just going through all of the different months that I've already completed and adding some finishing touches. I went through the Tim Holtz Seasons quote book and added more quotes to the different folders or pockets. I am just adding a little bit more depth in this one tag. There's no right or wrong. You can always go back and just change up and add whatever you like. So now that we've completed months January through May, we're going to be going into June. And for June, I picked a picture of her and her friends in their bathing suits getting ready for summer. I also have an envelope that I decorated using some Dollar Tree airy foam spackle and a sheet that I tested blending eyeshadows on a long time ago when I was trying to show you guys how to repurpose makeup. I felt like the envelope could be a really pretty little touch, kind of like a letter from her best friends, and the other one is just something really cute for embellishment, and then the picture, of course, is just her and her girlfriends getting ready for summer fun. Then we're just going to add some color, of course, to the page that we're working on and just go from there. As you can see, I do not have a plan. I just kind of flip things around, put them in different places, and just fiddle until it finds a place. If by chance you're new to the junk journal scene and you're not really sure what these junk journals are for, they are basically a creative outlet for every aspect of the journaling world. For the creator, for the journaling or journaler, for the writer, for the artist, there's just so many ways that this can be so fulfilling for a creative person. So for myself, I think I get the most satisfaction out of creating the junk journals. I think if I made so many, they would probably just be on a shelf looking so beautiful, and I would probably flip through them and look at them and touch them and just love on them forever, because I'm not a big journaling person. I might pick one up, use it, be productive with it, but then I'd probably get my fix and I'd be ready to start on the next one. So for me, I love this as a creative outlet. And the people like me that like to make them but know we won't use them, it's probably easier for us to let them go to a home where we know someone will use them, and they are sold on places like Etsy or Facebook or anything like that. So a lot of people sell their junk journals that they create on Etsy, full of ephemera and beautiful signatures and pages and designs, and they are not cheap because they take a very long time to make. So if you are trying to get into junk journaling, just make sure that you embrace the time aspect of it. Just take your time, be creative, get the look you like, and understand that it is going to be a process. If you are willing to set aside time, then you can come out with a beautiful piece that you can hold into your hand that at one point did not exist. And that is kind of the main point of it. It's something that you are creating and putting into the world, and it's beautiful, and either you or somebody else will love it. Look at this. I mean, it's just fantastic. I just love piecing all of the things together, changing them and giving them new life so that someone can go in here and add in their memorabilia or their, let's see, they could add their love notes, they could add their movie tickets, concert tickets, little tiny things that can help them remember this stage of their life. It's just a really gorgeous way to do that. And then you could display it on a bookshelf. You can have it kind of like your own journal library. Oh my goodness, just the aesthetic of it all is just fantastic. So one lucky day while out thrifting, I found this full strip of lace trim, and it is so beautiful. I absolutely love the entire thing. And this is what I'm going to be using to add my little divider tabs to the journal. Now, I told you guys before, we're not stitching. We are definitely using Fabri-Tac to make life easy, but I am still totally envious of all of you who can just prop it up to the sewing machine and just stitch it like it's nothing. I'll get there, okay? I'll get there. Just my life, we need to get it together. Anywho, I think it still comes out equally adorable. I just wish it had the stitch lines. But one thing to keep in mind about your lace is that you can definitely tea stain it, ink stain it, do whatever you want if you don't want the white. I think this is the one thing that I really didn't care too much about as far as staining. I was very surprised going back and watching that I didn't, add some color or something to the ribbon. But you could still go back and do it after, of course. So I'm just removing everything so that I can go through and put the dividers clean in their spaces and stick it down. Now, I love Fabri-Tac because it dries. I don't know if it dries super fast, but it becomes tacky very fast and kind of stiff. So it doesn't stick to everything, if that makes sense. It sticks to the surface where you put it. And then it's like you can leave it alone. You don't have to mess with it. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to worry about it sticking to everything else if it's not pressed up against it. Anyway, it's a really great adhesive. I would definitely say to check it out. Now, on the last divider, I felt like it was missing something. So all I did was take a full strip and add it to that last signature. I feel like that's going to be a good place for not just journaling, but maybe writing down recipes or writing your to-dos or things that you don't want to put into the monthly spaces or the monthly pages. Kind of have it be a more day-to-day functional area as opposed to writing those things throughout the journal, if that makes any sense. The journal can be, or the monthly areas of the journal can be designated for memory tracking or whatever, and then that last signature can be more functional. And I did that in both journals as well. The second one with July to December also has that additional signature at the end. All right, so here goes a final look at the junk journal as we put in the ephemera to the pockets. And that is pretty much it for this Junk Journal with Me video. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell on your way out so you'll be notified of new videos. You can follow me on my social medias on Instagram and my Facebook group at the Bates House. And for now, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!